So I'm just an idiotic, stupid dog, but I cannot believe that YouTube finally gutted the Skanks. YouTube shivered the Skanks, and the Skanks have been taken down. I was shocked. I thought to myself, what could a skank do? What they've done so far? How did they, a bridge too far? They finally crossed the Rubicon? Or is it just an accumulation of, whatever they say, death by 1,000 cuts? Let me tell you something. I'm horrified because, our whole thing is not about pushing the envelope or, but it's trying to be, a person that's involved with freedom of speech, or you're trying to, examine certain situations, when it was earth-shattering. The Skanks are no more. I heard there's a reprieve process that maybe they could, appeal. But I mean, come on. And they let Donald Trump back on Twitter or whoever back on whatever, but they've done away with the Skanks. Oh, this is a woeful, mournful day. But you want to hear something that, it's just, like I said, it's so earth-shattering. I went for a little walk. I didn't know what to do. And for some reason, I got thinking about something that one of the adherents had said. One of the adherents had said it's okay to be a talking dog, or whether you're a talking fish or a talking shrimp or a talking gadfly, or he said a talking tree. And I said a talking tree, that I was thunderstruck. I was dumbfounded. A talking tree? What, So I went out in the yard of the manor house, and I started looking around at the trees. You got a beautiful American chestnut. They almost don't even exist anymore in America. You got an American elm. You got a bunch of, whatever you call them, sugar maples. But I decided to take my collar off, the thing we got from Guadalupe or Guadalajara that allows me to talk. And I decided I was going to go ahead and put it on an eastern redbud. That tree's probably about 150 years old. And I said, I wonder if you put this collar on a tree, will the tree be able to speak? So I went over there and I put the collar on the tree, and instantaneously the tree, burst forth. He said, like the Tin Man after you gave him a shot of oil and he could finally move. He was like, oh my God, these people are such assholes. Everybody in the world's a stupid bastard. I can't believe it. And I thought, couldn't see no lips moving. I didn't know where he was verbalizing from. It seemed like it came cascading down from the upper canopy of the tree. And the tree says, get back away from me, dog. I don't want a urination on my roots. And then he said, I take it back. I'm a tree. Where am I going to go? The only thing I ever get, the only kind of camaraderie is when a dog comes over. And, whether maybe it's a little bit of a urine from a dog, or maybe it's a bunch of bees, whatever the case might be, that's the only interaction I get. If I get a little bee, whatever the bees use to transfer communication back and forth with each other, some kind of bee enzyme. So I'm just kidding, but really, I'd appreciate it right now if And I thought about taking that collar back off that tree immediately, because I was thinking, I should have gone out in the woods and put the collar on a wild tree. Because this tree here, he sees everything going around. This is a town tree. Of course, he's going to be more surly and apoplectic and, whatever you would say. He's going to be more of a hard-edged kind of tree because he's an urban tree. He's a town tree. Where if I would have gone out in the wilderness and put the collar on the tree, that tree, he would have known nothing else besides other trees and other, other fauna and flora. But the town tree, of course, he's going to start bitching right away about what imbeciles and what stupid, humanity. And, I couldn't say anything to him because now all of a sudden I realized I can't talk anymore. The collar's wrapped around the tree. The tree's doing all the talking. The tree's talking to me and I can't even answer him back. It was very, very strange. And I was getting close to taking that collar back off that tree when the tree said, hey, dog, do me a favor, will you? Leave the collar on just for a couple more minutes because I want to say something to the world and I may never get the chance again. So here we go. I'm going to say, and all of a sudden the collar slipped off. I hadn't buckled it up so good, and the collar fell down to the roots. And since it was laying on the tree's roots, he could still mumble a little bit and say a few things, but it wasn't really coherent. And I thought about picking the collar back up and putting it on the tree. And I thought to myself, I'm going to tell this tree I'm not going to take the collar away permanently, but I couldn't say it, so I had to put the collar back on. And I told the tree, I said, don't worry, tree, I'm going to come back in here tomorrow and put the collar back on you so you can talk. But I realized the collar felt so good on me that I didn't really want to take it off. And I was wondering if it was true that I would even go back out there and give that tree a chance to talk again. But you know how eastern redbuds have a lot of those kind of samara, those kind of seeds that hang on for a long time after the bloom period? Well, there was quite a few old samaras still left on, and all of a sudden I saw them kind of drifting down, almost like the tree was weeping. And I wondered, I said to the tree, tomorrow I'm going to give you one more shot to talk, and what I'm going to ask you is it better to have talked and lost or to have never talked at all? And I guess that's kind of what I'm thinking about the skanks.